They never thought the mic was hot, so they never thought the tape would roll. But baby, it didn't. Now, Chrissy Lampkin just went from red carpet to mugshot in under 60 seconds. Courtroom packed, lashes flawless, attitude loudened. Then came the audio that dropped like a nuclear bomb. He'll never leave me if he thinks I'm pregnant. Yep, her voice clear as day. No cut, no commercial break. Just raw, manipulative chaos playing on courtroom speakers while Jim Jones sat there, looking like he aged 10 years in 10 seconds. Wait, fake pregnancy. In 2025? For clout. For screen time. Are we filming Love and Hip Hop or an FBI episode? Because sis wasn't acting. She was scripting her own downfall like a budget Shonda Rhime. So how did it all unravel? Who leaked the audio? And what does Camron have to do with a burner phone, a baby bump, and a VH1 miscarriage plan? Oh, honey, grab your tea, your wig glue, and your burner Twitter account, because we're diving deep into one of the most twisted, messy, headline-snatching scandals reality TV has ever tried to bury. And spoiler alert, they failed. Miserably. Stay right here. This rabbit hole is just getting started. So let's set the scene. Courthouse packed like Coachella. Only with less glitter and way more subpoenas. Chrissy Lampkin strutted in like she owned the building, heels clicking, lashes poppin', lips glossy, face beat like she was walking a Love and Hip Hop reunion, not a federal courtroom. But baby, that glam couldn't protect her from what was about to play on that speaker, because when the judge nodded and that USB stick got plugged in, all hell broke loose. A simple file name, Lampkin_confession_final.mp3, and boom, the courtroom went from bored jury duty vibes to full-blown Netflix premiere energy. He'll never leave me if he thinks I'm pregnant. Yep, that was the line. Her voice, clear as day. No auto-tune, no edits, no plausible deniability. Just raw, bone-chilling manipulation broadcast like a diss track to a man she claimed to love. Jim Jones froze. The judge didn't. The bailiff was already reaching for the cuffs before the audio even finished playing. But let's rewind, 'cause you know a mess this iconic didn't happen overnight. Oh, no, this has been brewing for months, maybe even years. And if you think this is just some petty Love and Hip Hop drama, think again. This is fraud. This is deception. This is a weaponized womb for TV ratings. And yes, we're about to spill all the receipts. It started like most fake fairy tales do, with a whisper on the blogs. Chrissy's glowing again. Baby bump in. Harlem, Jim is finally getting that baby. The internet couldn't get enough. Even VH1 got in on the tease, dropping promo clips for Love and Hip Hop. Secrets unlocked with heavy-handed hints at a Lampkin pregnancy arc. Fans were shook. Aw, Chrissy deserves this moment. Maybe this'll fix her and Jim. Spoiler alert, it didn't, because there was no baby. Strategy and a well-lit lie. Behind the scenes, there were no ultrasounds. Number? Checkups. No OBGYNs. Just a script, a camera crew, and a storyline pitched like it was Shark Tank for toxic relationships. One VH1 associate producer who later got subpoenaed. By the weight-old anonymous sources, we needed Chrissy to deliver a big comeback, and nothing hits like a pregnancy. Aha! Except this one came with champagne instead of cravings. Yep, you heard that right. The lie started cracking when a behind-the-scenes clip leaked showing Chrissy sipping bubbly on set while allegedly in her first trimester. At first, fans brushed it off. It's apple cider. Maybe it's staged. But then came the tape. And this tape wasn't some grainy secret recording. This was clear, calculated, and scorched earth level strategic. Word is, it came from Camron's Compius. That Compu allegedly recorded the call during a late-night phone vent session where Chrissy spilled everything. No one knows exactly why he leaked it, but insiders say it came right after Jim's son, yes, Jim's own son, testified in court and threw Cam under the bus. Cam was heated. And when Cam gets heated, well, somebody's always getting dragged. So here's what happened. The courtroom tense. Chrissy seated with her legal team like it's just another scene. The judge leans forward and says, "Ms. Lampkin, before we proceed, there's a recording we need you to hear. Flash drive goes in, click play." Her voice fills the room. "No, I'm not pregnant, but if I say I am, he'll stay. He always stays when he thinks we're building a family." Boom. Dot. The room froze. Stenographer, typing, suspended. Jim looked like he saw a ghost. One reporter said it looked like his soul left his body and caught the first flight to Paris. The judge didn't blink, just signed the arrest order mid-playback and told the bailiff to secure the defendant. And here's where it gets messier. That audio, that wasn't the only evidence. Oh no, baby, we're just getting started. 'Cause the leak didn't stop with the voice memo. Within hours of Chrissy's courtroom meltdown, someone released screenshots from a group chat called "Get This Pregnancy Playbook." I wish I was making this up. But no, this was real. The group included Chrissy, a VH1 associate producer, named Morgan B., and someone saved as CC believed to be Cam's assistant. The messages were straight up scandal gold. Morgan B. will shoot the reveal in Miami. She just has to say she missed her period and act emotional. Chrissy, got it. I'll wear flowy dresses and rub my belly while talking heads. CC, Cam, Jimmy won't know what hit him. LOL. Like, what? This wasn't just a light, was a production. They had talking points. They had a rollout strategy. Okay. They even had a scene planned with Mama Jones reacting on camera. And the kicker. VH1 allegedly paid Chrissy a bonus to go along with the fake narrative. That's read a cash incentive to fake motherhood. A Venmo transaction leaked the same day from Mia Ta. From VH1_production_Inc. to Chrissy Lampkin note. Storyline bonus amount, $12,500. Date. 2 days after she dropped her maybe baby teaser on Instagram. And what about the brands? Oh, they were lining up like it was Black Friday. One vitamin company reportedly paid Chrissy 5 figures to post about prenatal health. Another skincare brand named her their glow ambassador. A baby clothing company even sent her custom-made onesies that said "Blessed and Bumpin'." But there was no bump. It's just booking fees down. Now you might be thinking, okay, but how far could one fake pregnancy really go? Oh, sweetie, deep. Because this wasn't just about sympathy or screen time. This was about control, relevance, power. Insiders say Chrissy was panicking. Her brand was slipping, Jim was pulling away, Dipset was unraveling, and the streets were buzzing about Cam's betrayal. She needed to shift the narrative fast. And what better way than a miracle baby? According to one former VH1 editor, Chrissy knew exactly what she was doing. Weaponized motherhood, and she did it on camera. With production's full support. This was a hustle disguised as a storyline. And Jim, he bought it, at least at first. He started hanging around more, was seen house hunting with Chrissy, and even posted a cryptic caption, "Blessings on blessings." But that blessing turned out to be a curse, because once the champagne clip hit the blogs and the voice memo leaked, and that group chat dropped, it was over. Over for Chrissy, over for the fairy tale, and possibly over for VH1. Too, because as wild as this already is, the worst part is what came next. Hours after Chrissy's courtroom arrest, a second leak hit the blogs. A video recorded inside a hotel suite at the W in Times Square, showing Chrissy, Morgan B., and a table full of props. Fake pregnancy tests. A binder labeled Season 3 Pregnancy Arc. And Chrissy saying the words, "Once we get past episode 2, I'll fake the symptoms." The vitamin deal hits after that. Let that marinate. She had scenes planned for a fake miscarriage. And yes, that video ended up in the prosecution's hands. But we'll get to that in a minute. So there, Chrissy was freshly cuffed. Full glam, now looking more like war paint than fashion, sitting in a cold courtroom cell, while the internet had its own trial. But the walls weren't done closing in yet. It's because while Twitter was roasting her with memes of baby bottles filled with air and crib registries for attention, the real nuke was still ticking. The hotel video. Yup. That encrypted footage shot in 108 OP betrayal was leaked just hours after her arrest. And honey, this wasn't a blurry security cam angle. This was high-definition deception starring Chrissy and Morgan B., the VH1 associate producer, who now had her own chair waiting in federal investigation. The setting, a suite at the W Hotel in Times Square. The props, fake pregnancy tests, a pile of vitamin boxes, and a thick binder literally titled Pregnancy Arc Season 3. I mean, they didn't even try to hide it. And then came the audio. Chrissy's Voice.com corporate cold-blooded. So once we get past the second episode, I'll fake the symptoms. The vitamins deal hits after that. Then I'll say I'm at high risk to skip the ultrasound storyline. Morgan's reply, we'll cover you. If you say miscarriage by episode 6, the fans will back off. Boom, mic drop. Social media exploded. Bloggers fainted. Even longtime Chrissy stans deleted fan pages in shame. But inside the courtroom, you could hear a pin drop. The judge stared at the footage like it was a crime doc. The stenographer literally paused mid-typing to clutch her pearls. But the loudest voice, Mama freaking Jones. She stood up, scarf on, cigarette miraculously unlit, bellowed across the courtroom. That's evil. Straight up evil. The bailiff nearly tripped trying to maintain order. And Chrissy didn't blink. No defense, no tears. Just silent, frozen. A statue made of shame and glitter glue. The judge leaned forward, voice low but lethal. Ms. Lampkin, are you prepared to explain this footage to the court? But before her lawyer could mutter a single excuse, the courtroom doors swung open. And I walked with Yandi Smith. Yup, that Yandi. The same Yandi. Chrissy once tried to fight on national TV. The same Yandi who once clowned her for being engaged for 15 years with no ring. The same Yandi who famously said, "You think you're a wife? 'Cause you stuck around." Now she was holding a subpoena. And honey, she was ready to testify. She took the stand. She swore in, she fixed her mic. And then she lit the courtroom on fire. Yes, I knew Chrissy was lying. Yes, Morgan helped plan the fake pregnancy. Yes, Camron knew too. And yes, VH1 paid her a bonus to keep the storyline going. The judge literally leaned back in his chair like he needed a drink. One blogger gasped so loud it echoed. Another whispered, "This is giving the season finale energy." But Yandi? She wasn't done. "Oh no, I warned producers this would backfire," she continued. "I told them exploiting motherhood for ratings was disgusting. But they said then, I quote, 'If the ratings go up, we win.'" And then she dropped the bomb. They even told Chrissy to fake a miscarriage if the lie got exposed. At that moment, Chrissy broke. Her eyes welled up. Her perfectly drawn lips started to quiver. And then the tears came. "I didn't want to go through with it," she sobbed. "I had nothing left. My reputation was dead. Jim wasn't coming home. I had no storyline, no brand deals, no offers. I thought if I gave them something dramatic enough, I'd matter again. Too late. The damage was done." The judge ordered a full-scale investigation into VH1's production practices. Emergency subpoenas were issued. Morgan B. was escorted out of court by federal investigators. VH1 issued a shaky PR statement, blaming rogue decision-making and promising an internal ethics review. Cute, but Twitter wasn't buying it. Hashtag cancel VH1 trends within the hour. Hashtag pregnancies not a tape lot line followed. And then came the petitions, over 100,000 signatures in 24 hours to shut down love and hip-hop altogether. But the brands, they moved faster. Then Chrissy's booking photos. Glow Mama Naturals, the prenatal vitamin company that featured Chrissy as a glowing spokesperson, released this statement. We partnered with Miss Lampkin in good faith. We are horrified to learn that her pregnancy was fabricated. We will be pursuing legal action for fraud and misrepresentation. And it didn't stop there. A skincare brand? A baby lotion company? Even a podcast sponsor who ran motherhood. Stories now pulled their Chrissy episode from all platforms. All of them are now lining up to sue. In less than 24 hours. Chrissy went from mom-to-be influencer to the face of fraud. And Jim, not a peep. No bail, no statement. Not even a retweet. Word on the street. He left New York again, this time for good. Reportedly flew to Paris and cut off contact with everyone, even changed his number. And what did he leave behind? Apartment. His team came in and cleared every trace of Chrissy. Photos, gone. Clothes, packed up. Even the dog's food bowl -gone. Symbolism? Or just fed up? Either way, the message was loud and clear. You're done. But just when you thought, we reached peak mess. Nah. The final twist of part 2 was still loading. Because as Chrissy was being led back to her holding cell now wearing a standard issue grade jumpsuit, makeup smeared. Dignity somewhere lost in season 2. The prosecution stood up one last time. Your Honor, the DA said, we have newly submitted evidence. And that's when the bailiff wheeled in a TV cart like it was 2003. They plugged in a USB drive labeled Purple Haze LLC transaction, narrative fee. The screen showed a wire transfer from Camron's business account to a shell media firm offshore, amount $60,000 note, narrative development fee date, 2 weeks before. Chrissy announced her pregnancy online. That's right. Cam allegedly funded the entire thing, just when it felt like the scandal couldn't spiral any further. The courtroom exploded again, but this time the bomb wasn't just metaphorical. A second videotape had surfaced and the prosecution didn't wait a second to drop it. This wasn't a clip. It was a detonator. The footage came from a different angle inside the same W hotel suite shown before, only now it caught a third person on camera. Hood pulled low sunglasses, oversized mimosa in hand like she was brunching on felony charges. Trina Bell. Yes, Chrissy's ex-bestie. The same woman who once styled her hair on Love and Hip Hop and dipped off the grid after season 6. She'd been subpoenaed quietly after emails between her and Chrissy were recovered from VH1's server backups. And when they were read aloud in court, even the prosecution looked shaken. Chrissy had written, Jimmy doesn't think right when he is emotional. If I hit him with the pregnancy and that old Cam drama, he'll snap. He'll marry me out of guilt, Trina had replied, even if it's fake. And Chrissy dropped the hammer. By then, I'll have my season, my ring, and my legacy. The courtroom sucked the air straight out of the walls. Trina wasn't done. In her testimony, she calmly admitted to helping Chrissy stage every step she sourced. Fake pregnancy tests, helped plan the tear-filled confessionals, and even coached her on how to cry on cue. She said they were both trying to stay on TV. That line hit harder than any scripted scene ever could. The judge leaned in, visibly exhausted, and said the quiet part out loud. This court believes what we're witnessing is not just personal deception, systemic exploitation. And just like that, it was official. A federal ethics probe into VH1's production division was underway. The panic behind the scenes was instant. Producers bolted. VH1 reps ducked cameras. Morgan B. was arrested on the spot for conspiracy to commit fraud and tampering with public narratives. Chrissy? She just sat there. No tears, no words, no wig fix, nothing. The judge began listing upgraded charges like he was reading off time. A grocery list of destruction, felony fraud, conspiracy to commit emotional abuse, financial deception for commercial gain, manipulation of broadcast content, and obstruction of contractual ethics. And the real kicker, She was officially remanded without bail. Chrissy's lawyer didn't even argue. Her face melted, her mascara followed, and it was clear the show was over. The memoir deal for Forever Yours, maybe. The Chrissy Chronicles, canceled within hours. The publishing house released a statement that said, "We do not support fraudulent narratives that harm public trust." But it wasn't over. Oh no. The prosecution rolled out one more card, a wire transfer receipt showing a $60,000 payment from Purple Haze LLCA's Camron S. company to an offshore PR firm. Just 2 weeks before Chrissy's infamous "I might be pregnant" Instagram tease. Purpose of the payment: narrative development fee. And that's when the courtroom lost its collective mind. Bloggers broke down. Security had to hold the line. Even the judge paused for a full minute just to breathe. Hashtag #CamScammed started, trending globally. Memes flooded timelines. Chrissy cradling a baby bump made of $100 bills. Camron photoshopped into a fake baby shower giving a toast with a bottle of Hennessy. It was chaos, but it got worse. Because Mama Jones stepped outside the courtroom, cameras flashing, and said the words that ripped through the internet like wildfire. "I tried to tell y'all, she never loved Jim. She loved the lights." Then, she lit a cigarette and walked off like she just dropped the mic on the whole damn decade. And Jim? Still gone? Word is, he's in South Africa now, filming a docuseries titled "The Engagement That Never Ended," working with independent producers to tell the real story behind Dipset, Cam, Chrissy, and how 20 years of love got turned into one giant lie. Insiders say the doc has unseen footage, voice notes, and cast members who were threatened into silence but are now ready to spill everything. But just when the public thought the Chrissy chaos was contained, another twist hit like a wrecking ball. According to sealed court documents, another cast member helped Chrissy execute the fake pregnancy scam. A well-known female face from the Love and Hip Hop franchise. Not a side character, not a cameo, a main name. Someone the audience trusted. Her identity hasn't been released yet, but insiders say she's already been subpoenaed and will be forced to testify. Meanwhile, the fans are in full-on investigation mode. YouTubers dropping 4-part breakdowns hourly. Reddit threads with 5 OK comments. Even Cardi B jumped in again, tweeting, "This tea is boiling over now. I need part 10. And suddenly, the conversation changed. It wasn't just about Chrissy lying. It became about how VH1 allowed it, how producers pushed it, how the entire franchise turned motherhood into a marketable trauma plotline. Protesters outside the courthouse held signs that read, "Pregnancy is not for ratings and motherhood is not a PR strategy." Inside, the judge gave his final ruling. Chrissy Layman would face up to 8 years in prison if convicted. VH1, now officially under federal investigation, is being accused of emotional exploitation, unethical production tactics, and knowingly encouraging fabricated narratives for financial gain. And the consequences are just beginning. Sponsors have pulled out, entire seasons may get shelved. Multiple producers face possible indictments, and the Love and Hip Hop empire hanging by a thread. Meanwhile, another encrypted server was leaked late last night, this one reportedly containing DMS between Camron and another reality star. You know who? Ka Manea. In those messages, Ka allegedly brags about the pregnancy scam and hints that she wasn't the only one who faked it. For clout. Yeah, if that footage goes public, we're not just looking at one person's downfall, we're looking at a multicast, multi-show, full-blown network collapse. VH1 may not survive this, but the message is loud and clear now. Chrissy wasn't just acting. She was directing her own downfall in real time. And this time, there's no script that can save her. So now we want to hear from you. Was Chrissy a mastermind or just desperate for fame? Should VH1 be held accountable for turning pain into profit? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, and subscribe for more jaw-dropping drama they never wanted you to see.